Hey guys, TehJew22 here, and this is my outlook on the year that was 2017. I did one last year for last year's, but this time I'm going to do one for this year. And before I go any further, I will just say that this year has just been the most terrible year, hands down. I mean, I thought 2016 was bad. 2017 has been even worse, but I just hope that this will be the last terrible year we've had, and we will have much better years. And I hope things will improve here in the United States, politically, and as well as and that justice will be served. But I don't want to bore you guys with politics. But I do have someone who is a very good friend of mine, and he is going to be my co-host for tonight's show, and that is the one and only.
Whoa. I don't think 2017 has been that bad.
Well, it has been bad politically, but in terms of video games, it's been great.
Correct.
So I guess it's...
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm John, and I just randomly came here.
Yeah, of course he is my my guest at this time. But without going into too much detail, yes, 2017 has been a great year. I think what has been your best thing about 2017, John?
The Switch. Probably.
Yeah, the Switch, as well as some of the other systems. Like, I have a PS4 now, but the Switch has definitely been the best system, and the games have just been out of this world.
Agreed.
And I guess we'll talk more about the Switch sometime down the line, but the Switch has definitely become it set the bar.
Yep.
And hopefully you guys, that is the viewers, will get yourself one, or whatever you happen to have. I just hope that you're having fun with whoever you are.
Yep. Add me on the Switch. Friend code. Appear on the screen, TehJew.
I don't even know if I should do that, or should I?
You should. You don't wanna lie to your fans. Now that I said it.
No, I shouldn't.
If it's not, you'll be lying.
Well, if you want to add John, we'll put it on the screen, and do be sure to pause for a moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I think the best part of 2017 has definitely been the people.
Yeah, we have definitely, well, both of us respectively have met different people this year.
Yes. And each person has a different part of them that makes them unique. So, I may as well start with the guy that inspired me to do the series in the first place, and that is our good
Jason
friend...
RPG.
Yeah, Jason RPG. And before I say anything, what do you think of him?
I think he's cool. I haven't talked to him as much as you have. Formerly known as Pikachu Power. He does JRPGs. Haha. Jason RPG, JRPG. Hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I did meet him at the beginning of this year, right in January.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Very cool. But yeah, he's the guy that inspired me to do the outlook of this past year, and I'm happy to have met him, and I'm happy that he's definitely been, he's really like a brother to me. He really is. I mean,
Toady brother.
Maybe not a Toady brother, but he's my brother from another mother.
Pikachu was adopted.
Yeah, you would think I would be, but but no, Jason has he's been very busy with his own life, with university, or trying to get into university. I forget I forgot exactly what the circumstances are. It's much different in the United Kingdom than it is in America, but be that as it may, I really wish him the best of luck. Any last words on him?
Not really.
Well, I hope to hear from Jason RPG more and more in terms of videos. But we go from a former Pikachu to a current Pikachu, and that is
Pika Plays.
Pika Plays HD.
Another person from the land known as Europe.
Yeah, he's from the United Kingdom as well. And I mean, he's definitely done so much in terms of his Nuzlocke and he got himself a Switch as well.
Yeah.
In fact, out of all the people that were the most happy with the Switch, I mean, you were pretty happy and you were happy about the Switch and its success, but I don't think anybody was any more happy than Pika Plays.
I was very happy as well.
And as well we should. It was just, I was so happy that he was happy and that he was enjoying the Switch and he got to play Splatoon 2 and has the game.
Yeah. Definitely. Pika Plays is a good person. He's a cool guy.
Very cool guy. In fact, we did get him on a couple of episodes of 3D World. Yeah, we got him on an episode or two of 3D World. My last completed LP. I mean, what more can I say about him that I haven't said? He's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, do check out Jason, do check out Pika Plays, but also check out his best friend and someone we just recently met.
Jarrett.
Yes, Jarrett742, and he was part of the finale of 3D World, the LP that I did.
Yeah. You guys should totally watch that.
Yes, do watch it, and also do check out Jared and the fact that he loves his RPGs. Maybe just a little bit more than even Jason RPG, if that was even possible.
That's impossible. No, that's impossible.
We'll see what Jason has to say when he watches the video, but Jared, he loves the Tales series, he loves the Dragon Quest, what else? Final Fantasy, and of course, Persona. I mean, anything yeah. I was just gonna say, anything you wanted to say about Jared?
I just met him today. And we had some mic problems, too.
Yeah, apparently his Blue Snowball or Blue Yeti is on the verge of dying, and he needs to get a new microphone. Hopefully he gets one pretty soon. But Jared, I gotta tell you, he's been just a very good friend and someone I've been talking to a lot behind the scenes. So I'm just happy to have just simply talk to Jared, and the fact that he has a really huge love for life. Like, he just enjoys life to the fullest, and I can respect that. Anything else about Jared?
I think that's it.
Well, we now know who he is, but then we have someone who I've been friends with even longer, and that is TrueWho82.
TrueWho82.
Now, of course, you and TrueWho have never really officially met, or have you?
I don't think I've ever talked to him in voice chat ever.
Well, he's a very good friend of mine, and I've been friends with him ever since for the better part of we're closing in on 5 years or 4 years actually. Excuse me. 4 years I've been friends with him, and about as long as I've been friends with Jason. And Truhu is just, he does very silly things. Does Truhu, but I like him for that, and he has his own podcast series. So if you want to see that, go check that out. But yeah, but any thoughts on him, John?
He's a cool guy. He's the leader of Insomania Game.
Yes.
I really know.
Well, yeah, he is the leader of Insomania Game. He's the founder. I mean, the founding of Insomania Game could easily be a story in itself, but we're talking about the individuals here.
Yeah.
But another person who is not only a member of Insomania Game, but is also part of Much Games Guides. And this guy is simply the Frog.
LP Grotus.
Yes. Who, believe it or not, as of the time of the recording, and most likely the time that this will get posted, is the current world champion in my wrestling series.
Yeah, and I'm the 24/7 champion. What's up?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Grotus is the man that has leapfrogged over so many people to get to that title. And he's definitely, leaped over the competition in terms of YouTube. I mean, not that it's a competition, but he's definitely made a huge leap in terms of subscribers this year. I mean, any thoughts on Grotus?
I haven't talked to him in 2017, really. I have followed him on Twitter, and I have been to at least one of his streams this year.
Oh yeah,
3D World.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Sadly I didn't get to see all of it because I was really busy with school at the time. Because I really wanted to stay, but I couldn't. But I'm happy that you got to say hello to him, and he does think highly of you. Does Grotus?
I did see on his Instagram that he got he shaved his head.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about that, but since you mentioned it, yeah, he changed his look. I remember when I first met him, he had hair so long. It's like, how are you doing, miss? And then it was like, oh, you turn around, it's like, oh, it's a guy. No. I kid. But no, he had really long hair. Hair so long, it was like, is Rapunzel gonna climb up your hair? I'm sorry. I had to do it. But no, but it was really long. But then he started to shorten it, and now he barely has any hair now.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, with or without it, you'll always be
same guy on the inside.
You're still the same guy on the inside, and you're still the friendly frog that I've always known you to be. And you've been definitely a good friend of mine. In fact, anytime we've ever had deep conversations, whether it be for good or for bad, by that I mean good things or bad things. But I always try to help out Grotus as much as Grotus has helped me out, and I appreciate everything that you've said and done for me. So I appreciate that. But any last words on Grotus before we go on to our next person?
I don't believe so.
Okay. But then, of course, we also have, and by we I mean Grotus and I, also, as well as Truhu and Jason, have a very good friend in the Blue Owl CONUS board.
He's...
Any thoughts on CONUS board?
He's cool. I like his what he stands for, standing for boredom or anti-boredom.
I mean, it's an ironic name given that he was going to stand for boredom, but he stood against it, and he's doing great.
Yep. I know he was pretty good friends with someone else that we're gonna talk about later, but
Yeah, and as for CONUS board, he's just, you know, he's definitely been someone who, even though he's a bit younger than me, he's definitely he's definitely
wiser.
a very wise man.
Yeah,
He's very well endowed. That's what I was trying to get at. He's very well endowed. He knows he knows what's up. And
yeah,
as of
definitely.
now, he is on a hiatus, but it's more of a personal hiatus. But he's doing fine. He's not hurt, but it's a personal hiatus that he has to take care of before he can come back. And I hope, if he does well, he might come back sooner. But that's all I'm going to tell you because it's very personal, and I don't want to say too much about it. But if he does well, he might come back sooner. But um, for the most part, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
Funny.
it is personal, just because I don't want to say what he's doing, but nonetheless, though, he has some personal things to take care of, and when he does come back, we'll invite him with open arms. And no, not the game, but you know what I mean.
Ha ha.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
You're so punny.
But here's a guy that always is funny, and he always makes me smile. Not to say that you don't, John, but he was making me smile even before I met you. And he is the man with the tanuki,
The man with the teddy bear.
Tanuki Teddy, who
Yeah,
made
he
who
does pretty good reviews on YouTube
yeah,
with
uh
all his friends.
yeah, because he came back and he was doing movie reviews, and the last one he did was of Halloween, on Halloween, and
That's ironic.
which is ironic, yeah. But since then he hasn't done anything. I don't know if it's school or if he has any more personal um is- not issues, but if he has any personal things to take care of. Whatever it is, I don't really know actually. So, Teddy, if you're watching this, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you come back pretty soon. But if you're just taking a break, then by all means take it. I'm not gonna stop you, man.
No one's gonna stop you.
Yeah, he's unstoppable, baby. Just as much as the next person we're gonna talk about is the man that has been on top a long. Well, actually, I may as well mention two people since they're co-owners and co-founders. I may as well. That would be Ryan Bragg, and yes, he revealed his own name, so that's the only reason I'm saying it. And Cole NL112, the co-founders of
Much Games Guides. MuchGames.ca.
yes, MuchGames.ca, Much Games Guides, and I just want to say to Bragg and Cole, thank you so much for inducting me into the group. You really didn't have to do it at the time, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. And I'm more than happy to do as much as I can to help you guys, and it's an honor. And as for Cole and for Bragg, what do you think of them, John?
I think they're pretty cool. I really liked their old videos on MuchGames.ca. They're very funny people as well as Colette too.
Yeah, Colette, I may as well include her while we're at it, but Colette is funny as hell. I mean, you got to hear that firsthand, right, John?
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, I think she also gets a kick out of seeing herself on me wrestling videos,
Huh.
and she'll get an even bigger kick when she sees what she looks like in 2K18.
Oh my god.
And I could probably say the same thing for John, which we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, Cole, Colette, and Bragg, they've definitely have they hold a special place in my heart, and I just want them to know that I just want to thank them for everything they've done and for what they're doing for the channel and for all the other members. So thank you.
Thanks.
Any other thoughts on Cole, Colette, and Bragg before we go to our next person?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I just wanted to say thanks. I'm glad you came along.
Sarcasm much? No. Okay. but in all seriousness, let's get on to our next topic. And my phone's going off. Our next person is the person that I had just did my last Let's Talk or TehJew22 talks with, and that was with Mughal Fantasy.
Yeah, for the second time.
Yeah, the first time I really didn't think that the first time that I did it, it was any good. I just thought it was terrible, given what it was. But I thought the
I thought
second
mine
time
was pretty bad too.
well, we'll get to that when we get to it. But uh, but the second time was definitely much better, by miles. And it was also nice to have Mughal not only on the show but also in one episode of 3D World as well as on Smash. Um, so if you guys want to see him in action, you can do that. And of course, we'll be sure to include him and all the other people we've just mentioned in the description.
Next we have Magic Zenith.
Oh yeah, Magic Zenith, the Magic Man, as I call him. Uh,
Magic Mike.
no, not Magic Mike. The Magic Man. But yeah, I first met him through Grotus, and Grotus was, running off a list of people that he recommended, and Magic Zenith was one of them. And this was back in 2016, and this year I can definitely say that we've definitely strengthened our friendship. Am I close friends with him? No, but I would like to be more and more, especially now that I'm out of college. But for what he does, he's funny as hell. I mean, of course, his over-the-top antics would probably drive people off. That's not the real guy, because the real guy is awesome. Like off camera, like when he's serious, like when he gets serious, he's probably one of the nicest people you will ever meet. So yeah, even though he does do a lot of rage games and stuff like that, he's a really cool guy. Beyond that, any thoughts on him, John?
I don't think I can say anything because I've never talked to him before.
Our next person is another good friend of mine. Probably, I was talking with him yesterday, as of the time I'm recording this, and that is Matt's LP Adventure.
Matt's LP Adventure. He
Yeah,
seems like a cool guy.
and he is. I mean, I can thank Mughal for introducing him to Matt's LP Adventure, because Matt, and as well as his fiance, now that he's revealed her. I forgot how you pronounce her. Etern Unique, I think her name is, or Miss Unique as I call her. But Matt and Miss Unique are without a doubt one of the most beautiful couples I have ever seen. They're very beautiful.
Oh.
Not just, and I'm not just talking outside. I'm talking like inside and out.
Oh my god.
Like they're a beautiful couple, and I just want to wish them the best. And because on a very serious note, I was kind of having some trouble with ex best friends, and I'm not gonna mention names. Like, I mean, because I was even talking to someone else about that, but he helped me get over my sadness over my ex friends. But nonetheless, though, I thank him for his kindness, and I was more than happy to return it back to him when he was going through something. And I said to him, well, whatever the person, like someone hurt him. Like I said to him, whatever he did to hurt you, Matt, you're better off just not hanging out with that person, and you're better off just not throwing any shade on him, because that just makes you just as bad as him. And he says to me, you know what, I should not have sunk to his level, somewhere along the line. So in other words, we help each other, and that's what friends are for. So, and the same I could say to you, John, and that is, or anybody for that matter. But so yeah, if you need my help, especially if you're a friend of mine, I will do whatever I can to help you, and that includes you, John.
Thanks.
I mean, for some, I'm like the big brother. Other times, I'm the little brother. But I'm your brother. That's how I treat my friends. But for Matt's LP adventure, like his channel, his like the channel itself, it's amazing. It's simple, and it's easy to get in to any of the games he's done and is doing. What more can I say about him? He's an amazing guy. Any
Yeah.
thought? Any last thoughts before we go to our next person?
Kind of the same for the last person. I don't really know, but he seems like a real guy for what you said.
Oh, you kind of got caught up there a little bit.
I haven't really talked to him, but he seems like a nice guy. And Matt, if you're watching this, I'd like to maybe we can talk sometime too.
Yeah, I would think going to one of his streams would be the first step. But anyway, here's a guy that I've been friends with at least a year before I met Matt's LP Adventure, and that is, I may as well include them two for one, and that is Matrix Mandible and his lovely friend BlueBab23.
Hmm.
And they too, just like Matt and his main squeeze, those two are just as much of a beautiful couple as well. And I mean, Matrix. As for Matrix himself, he's a very big main on Splatoon. So if you
Yeah.
want, so yeah, it's very easy to go to his stream and add him and play. Go up against him on Splatoon. Sometimes he'll do turf. Other times he'll do ranked. And if he does ranked, there might not be a chance you get in. But if he does turf, you should have no problem. So if you want to hang out with Matrix and talk to him, um, he's very cool to talk to.
Yeah. I've
Uh,
been to a I've been to a few of his streams, and he seems like a cool guy.
Very cool guy. I got to talk to him on more than one occasion, and he's a very good host.
Yeah.
And and I met him and his girlfriend through someone else, which we'll get to later on. But BlueBab23, a very good hostess in her own right, and and she loves to play, like a variety of games. So it's not like she plays one game all the time. But she and I we talked a couple of times, and she's a very good hostess and a very good friend to talk to. Uh, it's been a while since I've talked to her directly, um, but she and I we still talk every now and then, and I just want to say thank you for being a friend. And any thoughts on her?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, because of course most of these people, most of the people that we're talking about has never met John, or John has never met them, I should say.
Yeah.
But one person you did meet, but albeit through a stream, is Adrian Chamblee, 87.
Yep.
And yes, I said his full name because he, revealed it, so and plus he goes by his own name anyway. But yeah, Adrian Chamblee, very cool guy, and I met him through another friend of mine, or a good friend of mine, Gina. but then I became friends with Mr. Chamblee himself, and he's a very cool guy too. Like, I haven't talked to him like directly on like Skype, but through his streams. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like him.
And in fact, you have a funny story about going to one of his own streams yourself, and I invited you into one of them. Why don't we tell the audience about that?
Are you talking about when I went and then he had to like leave like 5?
Yeah, that sucked, man. Anyway, well, what happened was he was celebrating his 30th birthday, and we were having a good time, and then all of a sudden, his parents, who came to visit his house one time, wanted to take him out to dinner, and it just so happened that he was getting some viewers that he wasn't getting, and which, kind of sucks that they caught you at a bad time, but it was great for what it was, because I had a fun time, and I know that John did.
Yeah.
But I mean, but aside from that stream, you really haven't talked to him.
Not really. But yeah, he's a cool guy. I definitely want to go to some more of his streams.
Yeah, I'll have to find out when he streams again, because like, the last couple of times was during finals, so there was no way I could have made it all that much, so that sucks.
Rip.
But one person that she and a number of people that come with her, and that also includes Magic Zenith too, because he's part of the series. But the person behind it is my good friend Serendipidia.
Who?
Serendipidia.
Oh yeah, I follow her on Twitter.
Yeah, like, she came up with this series using The Sims 4, and it's done machinima style, where you use the game to act out what's happening, but you use voice acting to add to those clips. So, and it takes a great amount of skill to do it, because you have to, make sure that what's coming out of their mouth matches. There's a learning curve, yeah. But Serendipit, or I'll call her Tia for short. So yeah, Tia, she came up with this great idea, and I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. And then when I actually watched it, it's called Serenville. I'll be sure to put it up on the screen. There we go. So, and I'll be sure to give you the link to the first episode, so you can just watch it from the start. But that series is so compelling. It practically has blown every TV show since, I guess, 2005 right out of the water, because I have not watched normal television since then.
Cable box.
With
Rest
my
in peace to TehJew22's cable box.
Yeah, my old cable box. Back when we used to have old cable boxes, and then we switched to satellite because that's what happened at the time. But yeah, that series is so compelling that I would recommend people watch it, because it's just that good.
I haven't watched it yet though, but I definitely will.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's very, very intense.
Very intense.
Well, not intense as in bad. I'm just saying it's intense because your heart will race, and you'll actually feel for the characters.
Is it like a reality TV show?
Kind of, if you want to go from that. If you want to use that analogy, yeah, it can do that. I guess that would work. But it's not a reality series. It's a machinima series, but as for Tia herself, she's very funny and very outgoing, although very shy at times. But she always means well, and I appreciate, the things that she's done, as well as some of her friends like Zenith and There's a couple of people that we didn't list off. His name is Hugo.
Hugo. That's a
Uh,
cool name.
yeah, formerly known as King Bombbeard.
Hmm.
And then of course we have another good friend of hers. Uh, Her name is Sherry Birkengirl. And Sherry's a very funny young lady as well, especially with her vlogs. Like, she has a vlog series. She hasn't updated it very much since as we got closer to Christmas, but she's very funny and very um, and just a delight to hear from.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, J Rule. That's Jey and then Rule. Rule. J Rule. Or Jamie, which is her name, but she's very funny as well. And um, she was doing a Let's Play of uh, Link to the Past on her channel. And I mean, she's also a joy to watch on YouTube and to talk to on Twitter. Same thing with Hugo and Sherry and Tia. Very
Hmm.
cool people, and they do such a great job on the show that it's like you either love them or you hate them in terms of the characters they portray, not the people that portray them.
Huh.
But yeah, any thoughts? But actually, you already talked about your thoughts on the series.
Yeah, it seems cool. I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, and do check out some of the people that helped her along the way. But we'll move on to our next people. We'll do another 2-for-1, and that is our good friends, my toady brother, Jizawa Toad, and his dragon friend,
Dragon friend.
Dragon Ball Z, X4X.
Dragon Ball.
But before I say anything about him, what do you think of Jizawa and Dragon Ball?
They are characters.
To say the least, but they are funny as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, because of course you got to meet them personally. Maybe not personally, but you got to meet them on Skype.
Yep.
In fact, it was documented in the Smash series,
Yep, it definitely was.
and it was just funny how, um, like Jizawa Toad was so funny, and I mean they're just funny as hell, but they're also good people. I mean, they may come off as rash at times, but that's just part of their character.
They definitely are funny people. Like some of the funniest people I've met online.
Like, what was the funniest thing that they've done that you can think of?
I remember the Prince Mario impression.
Oh, the Prince Mario thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where they impersonated him and they did Retsu Praise. That's what they called it.
Oh yeah, didn't you find them when they reacted to one of your videos?
Yeah, like they did a Retsu Praise on me, and I was like, at first I didn't like it, but then I came to love it later on. But I I still get a kick out of that.
At first you were triggered that it was you.
But I came to realize that they did it in such a way that I couldn't stay mad at them. And in fact, I wasn't really mad. I was just a little bothered, but I love it now. I love it.
I think it's funny.
It's funny as hell. I'll tell you that much. And but yeah, Jizawa Toad and Dragon Ball Z are pretty cool guys, and I hope one day I get to meet them on Retropalooza, because that's what they do on a yearly basis. Is go to Retropalooza.
This is our vlogs.
The Jizawa blogs. They are funny. I think the funniest thing. I don't think you've seen it, John, but one time Dragon Ball was sitting on top of, I think his name was Vincent or Ben, or yeah, Ben. His name is Ben, but on YouTube his name is Vid Sigma. And Dragon Ball was sitting on top of on Ben's lap when he decided to, quote, break wind on his lap. But I think the funniest part was actually the reaction that Ben gave. I mean, his mouth was open and everything. It was funny.
Oh my god.
I'll give you a link to that. It's funny as hell.
I can imagine it's pretty funny.
Well, you'll have to see it. And in fact, I'll give you... actually, I'm going to have to make a short of that, just so you can see just that part. Probably not long after the video comes out, but anyway. Okay, enough jokes. Let's get on to our next person, and now we're going to start getting into the McGrumps.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. What about McBudderNugget John?
I think he's the best man you'll ever meet in your whole entire life.
Well, maybe not in that particular way, but yeah, John, McBudderNugget John. He's definitely got himself a strong series on his channel, and it's the McGrumps.
He's also the raddest person.
The what?
The raddest person on the internet.
The raddest person on the internet. Wow. Of course, you would say that. But I always have a lot of fun with John and some of the games that we play on the Switch, and not just with him, but also with most of the McGrumps.
Most of them.
Most of them. I mean, there's some that I hardly have any interaction with, like Cyrus. Like, I hardly ever get to see or hear from him.
Yeah.
But
he lives in, like, Ireland.
Mm-hmm. And he's very animated. And so is Marco.
Very animated.
Yeah. But not an animated. Bad joke, I know.
Ha 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 ha.
Very funny, I know. But
TehJew, you're hilarious.
Yeah, I'm very punny, as you said.
Alright.
But
how about let's talk about Brice?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Brice. Of course, some of you might remember him from the first McGrumps that we did. Or not the first McGrumps, what am I talking about? The first interview that I did on TehJew22 Talks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Brice, but if you're watching this, I still cannot get over the whole you getting punked thing. Especially when you had no idea that we were recording the whole time.
Yeah, that was, like, he had no idea.
I mean, that's an easy mistake to make, but that's practically all I will say about it. But Brice himself, you know so much more about him. Like, I hardly know much other than the interactions that we've had. So, why don't you tell us more about Brice?
Brice is a cool guy. He can get very triggered though sometimes. He's not the best at video games, and he gets really triggered at them. It's funny though.
What does that make Marco?
I don't know.
Oh, but nonetheless, though, Brice is a really cool guy.
Yeah.
But as cool as he is, then we have probably one of the coolest, notwithstanding everybody else, and that is the boy.
Jacoy.
Yes, Jacoy. Now, when you first met Jacoy, what did you think of him, and what do you think of him now?
When I first saw him, I'm like, this dude doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk?
Yeah, he didn't talk when I first met him.
Yeah, he was really shy, as far as I remember. But then, what happened?
Then he started to talk, and now he's Jacoy.
I mean, well, that's his real name, but now he's the boy. And I'll tell you one thing.
The boy that I know. Now.
Yeah, the Jokoi that we know now, he's awesome, and he's a very cool guy. He's very funny, and sometimes he's
Yeah.
funny when he even tries not to be.
Sometimes he's like very sarcastic, and it's funny.
Yeah, he just makes everything when it comes to sarcasm, it's funny as hell. And but yeah, when I met Jokoi, I met him through actually I just simply went to a bunch of streams to play Mario Kart 8 Standard. Well, I guess John has to take care of something, but yeah, I
All
remember
right.
meeting John, or excuse me, Jokoi, uh, through Mario Kart 8 Standard online, because I wanted to play online through a stream, and more often than not, I would run into Jokoi, and that's how I met him on Twitch. And yeah, he didn't say anything. All he did was type, and now he has a voice, and it's a very beautiful one.
Uh, I kind of have to leave.
Oh wow. Oh, that
Uh,
sucks.
well,
I
I'll only be gone for like 30 minutes. We can like do a part two. You can just put them together and post maybe,
I guess. Um,
or you can
how?
just continue it by yourself.
Yeah, I guess I can continue it and just finish it up, but
All right.
uh, yeah, it sucks that we have to do that, but oh well.
All right. Bye.
All right, have a good day.
Bye, guys. It was fun talking about this.
Mhm. Okay, let me just disconnect here. Okay, but back to but yeah, Jokoi has in a very relatively short time, he's been a very good friend of mine and has been since 2015. And then we have Fries, again, another person I met in 2015. Very, very animated is he. Is definitely into um, like Cartoon Network and things like that. But uh, what more can I say about him? Just a very cool guy. And then we have Toad the Gamer. Like he's my green Toad brother, and I met him last year. I forget exactly how. Oh, I met him through Tanuki Teddy, and yeah, I met him through Tanuki Teddy's channel, and then I started checking him out, and that's how we met. And I gotta say, Toad the Gamer is just a pretty cool guy, and and do check out some of the stuff that he's doing on his own channel. Very cool. And then Jay Vertus. I haven't talked to Jay Vertus all that often, but when I have, it's just been a joy. Um, he was huge in the latter part of 2015, but more so in 2016. Like he was huge like during 2016, and while he has taken some time off in 2017, he's been pretty cool with me, and I've been pretty cool with him. And I haven't talked with him as of recent, but he's a very cool guy, very awesome guy, and very good teacher when it comes to Smash Brothers, and very competitive to say the least. As well as Tan Man being very very competitive with Smash. He was competitive when I last talked with him, and of course during the second half of this year, Tan Man has. Let me turn down my phone. Tan Man, he has definitely he's been a very good friend of mine, and I do wish him the best in whatever it is that he wants to do. So what more can I say about him? And then we have a new person, a new friend I made this year was a good friend in Big Jets 1, who I did the 10 questions with, and he's very very animated to say the least. But of course he does mean well, and he too is very very competitive when it comes to online multiplayer games on the Switch. Very cool. And then we also have Greninja Power, very cool guy as well. And Greninja Power, I haven't really talked with him all that much, but the last time I featured him was in some of the last episodes of Super Mario 3D World. I featured him in there, and again, very very awesome guy. And then PinkPoyo, another person that I met in 2016 that's still a friend of mine. Um, I mean, he doesn't talk very much, but when he does, he makes it count. And I have featured him a couple of times on the videos, as well as Mario Rock of 57 and his sister Mario Girl. Those two are funny, and those two are probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, if you ever meet them on YouTube, because that's where you're gonna find them most of the time. But yeah, Mario Rock, he just does his thing, and he just, he just, he hasn't really released any videos lately, but he is cool to hang out with on Hangouts, and now we're gonna do this on Skype more often. So that's gonna be awesome. And then of course we have for the longest time he was known as Super Mario Luke, but we now just call him Luke, just for short. So yeah, Luke, another good friend of mine that I met through Fries and Candy. Um, but yeah, Luke, I mean, he's just one of the nicest people. He's another one of the nicer people that you'll ever meet, on YouTube and on Twitter. He hasn't done any YouTube stuff, but you'll definitely find him on Twitter. I'll be sure to give you his Twitter instead of his YouTube, because again, he hasn't done much on YouTube, but very cool guy. All right, let me extend the list up if I can. Thank you. There we go. We then have a few more people, and then we'll end it off, and we'll wrap it up. And up next is my good friend Rockhawk64, another good friend of mine, and I hadn't seen him very much until just this last quarter of this year. And I'm happy to have talked with him and hung out with him, especially on Discord playing Splatoon 2. A very cool guy. And then, of course, we have Candy, who I haven't talked to very often, or I haven't really talked with her all that much since the beginning of 2017. But Candy, if you're watching this, I hope to hear from you again really soon. And then, of course, we have Iron Smasher, another new friend of mine. I think I met him late last year, but this time I met him for good this year. And also a very cool guy to talk to. And probably one of the coolest is Greedy Selfish 97. Don't let the name fool you. Even though his name is Greedy Selfish, I don't consider him greedy or selfish, or maybe he does by his own admission, but he actually is a really cool guy to talk to. You would find him on his channel more often than not, and you'll talk with him, and sometimes you might agree with what he says, sometimes you may not, but his opinions are his own, and I respect him for that. And then last, or second to last, is Andy from the Gaming Beatdown. I'll be sure to give you his Twitch account so you can go check it out. But Andy is a very cool guy and one of the funniest at times, and very, very cool to hang out with and just chill with, especially with chill streams that he does every now and then. Or you can play Mario Kart 8, standard or deluxe, depending on what version of the game he's playing. But the last person I wanted to save for last, the best for last, or one of the best, is my longtime friend Retro Rick XTN, who I've been friends with as far back as 2010. So even before I started making videos, he was already a great friend of mine, and we still are friends to this day. And I thank him and I just thank him for the good times, and and just I thank him for just being him. He's always been himself, and that's what I like most of the time, is when you're yourself and that you're not trying to be someone you're not. But with that said, I then close with this. 2017, like I said, has been a terrible year. We've had hurricanes, we've had just a lot of injustices on the part of in the United States. I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods if you live outside of America, but it's just been terrible throughout. And I hope that 2018 will be the turning point where things start to get better, because until then, this is going to be a long time until things really start to get better. And I hope things will get better. Maybe not right away, but slowly but surely things will be better, and I hope things will be settled, and I hope things will be taken care of. And I also want to wish you guys the best too, because I want you guys to be as successful as you can possibly be in life. And while I have graduated from college, my journey is not over. It's only just beginning. And what I end up doing, I don't know. I really don't know. I just think that if I stay the course, then things will be all right. I really hope that whatever happens in 2018 will be far better than what 2017 has been. It's been a great year for games. There's no doubt about that. But for everything else, it's just been terrible. And I hope, like I said, 2018 will be a far better year than 2017 ever was. If it ever was. But until then, this is your best friend and a good friend, and I hope to hear from you even beyond 2018 forward. So I leave you with best wishes and great hopes for the future. This is your host, TehJew22, signing off. Have a good day, everybody.